I got a couple of questions I want to ask. One of them is, what makes you not support your friends or your family or even coworkers who might try to start their own business? Um, is it like a jealousy thing? Is it just you don't care? Or is it just that, you really don't be paying attention? So, um, why I ask that is basically from my experience. So for me, I'm from born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. Um, Majority of my life, adult life, I worked in factories because that was big back then when you like lived in Ohio. I moved here with my family. I went to barber school, and that was kind of like my first taste of being an entrepreneur for real. Because what you don't know, if you don't know, when you come out of barber school, it's not like you go into like these big chain. You can, but you don't go into these big chain barbershops. So I went to the, typical neighborhood barbershop. And when you get there, the thing is you have to grow your own clientele. So it's like, you're relying on you going out here talking to people, the people that come in, they like the service, word of mouth, whatever. And I started like, getting good. So I've been cutting for 17 years. I've had a steady clientele. I made good money off of it. But it's a hustle to it. It's a hustle, but you have to be a smart hustler because people are going to come and go. You want to give them a service that they feel like is like they need, not like it's just like it's not a necessity. You want them to feel like I have to get a haircut. I have to go see my barber. So I was good at that. And I built a good clientele, made a lot of money, like I said. But now I'm at a point where it's like I've been doing it for 17 years. So I kind of want to like transition into something else. Now, it's not saying that doing like podcasts and YouTube and all that is where I want to take it, but I kind of want to like, venture off into that. But one thing I noticed is just, I noticed it as a barber, but doing content is like you really don't get the support from the people that you think you should get support from. So, you don't nobody has to do anything they don't want to do, but it's like this: if you see somebody and you see them really passionate about something and they're like, hey, this is what I think I want to do, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Why can't you support them? Like, I've had friends, family members, co-workers, I could care less about whatever that is they're doing, but the passion that they show me that I want to do this, I'm supporting them. I'm supporting them any way I can. So what I noticed is um people just, I don't know if you just look over it or you don't care. But for instance, I'm going to give my situations that I see is that a lot of times for instance, on my Facebook, right? I have close to 4,000 friends and I got over 24,000 followers. I'm almost at 25,000. And you know what's so crazy? The content I post, it's the strangers that like and show love. Now, just to like be clear, I have a lot of family on there. I have a lot of friends that I went to school with. I got a lot of current friends that I know. And rarely do I see them in the comments. Now, whether that's the algorithm doing it or people just really just going by my stuff and not really liking it, it's there. So that leads me to starting to believe like maybe people don't rock with you the way they say they do. Maybe people look at it like, oh, I don't want to support this BS, or maybe it's a jealousy thing. I don't know. I don't try to really focus on that and address it, but I would like to talk about it here because I just want people's opinions on it. Because there's no way, like, I go tick for tack if you got a business. So, like for instance, I have a client. He's a masseuse. He posts his videos. I share them. I tag like his page, or I'll post his where his location is. Same thing with a lot of my clients that have like businesses like a bakery or whatever they do, even if it's pressure washing or if it's like they do car detailing. If I see your post and you're posting work and I see that you're posting work to really like get it out there, I share it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's free. It's not costing me anything to do that. I'm not asking for nothing in return, and nor are you. But I do it because I want to see people succeed, you know? So it's like it's just weird to me, like when I post a video of like, say, for instance, something like this, and I like I can't expect greatness, but it's like I'll sit up here and be editing from like 12 to maybe 2 in the morning because it's chopping. It's okay. I should have said this. Oh, I messed this up a little bit. Let me go back and fix that. Or, it's a lot. It's editing, the lighting and everything. And I'll do that. And I wait where the algorithm tell me to post in the algorithm, and I wait, and when I post and it said your reel or your video has posted, and an hour go by and it's like 2 likes or two people watched it. And it's like, wow, like I clearly see cousins, friends, co-workers are like on social media. And I don't I don't get upset, but it's like, damn, do y'all really rock with me? Now I got one coworker, a couple. Actually, I'll say a majority of my coworkers, whenever I post, they be on it. Like it's the same thing. I don't care what you post. I don't even really gotta watch it first. I'll like it, and then I'll go back and watch it. I'll comment, whatever get you traction. And a lot of times people don't take social media to that point where it's like I'm trying to make money off of it. And it's not so much that I'm trying to make money off of it. That's going to come along with it if I do good. It's just I'm passionate about it now. I went from hating talking on social media, or I had real bad severe social anxiety at one point. So like talking was something I really didn't care to do. But I told myself at at the beginning of the year, I was like, yo, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna really focus on my social media platform. So I started like doing more barber stuff, but the barber stuff, it was getting old to me. So then I was like, let me venture off into like talking. So I started off with the two little mics, and then now here I am with an actual mic. I upgraded my camera, lighting and stuff. So I really put a big effort into it, and it's about being patient because a lot of times when I post a video, I might get like 100 likes, or I'm not likes, views. I might get 130 views, 2 likes, and I'm like, damn, I put work into that video. But it's cool. That's just how it is. But a lot of times I'll see people I follow, and like they'll go to a celebrity page and they all up and down that celebrity's page, and that's your business. And I'm not hating on that, but it's one of those things where you start computing like, what's the problem? Like, I get it that you don't know them, you like them, but you know me, and you act like you like me. So like, where's that support for me? So a lot of times, it's rough, and like you gotta mentally be tough also, because the thing is, when you start seeing all your hard work not go anywhere, and you're really doing, like, you're doing what social media tells you to do. You're studying. Like, this ain't just put up a phone and do videos. You're really putting the effort. You're taking notes. You're like, okay, that video got that many views and he or she did this or that. So you start getting into that mode. And then it's like you post and you're like, well, I have more of a closed reach because a lot of the people that follow me are my friends and family. So they're going to see my work and then they're going to like it. And you'll realize that none of them people like your shit. But 197 strangers liked it and watched it. And it's like, cool, 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 But it's like, damn, did you not see it? Did you not watch it? Did you not? You don't care? I mean, like I said, even if you don't want to hear what I gotta say, if you rock with me, just like it. Likes are free. Subscribing to somebody's page is free. No money's coming out of your bank account. Nobody's coming and holding you at gunpoint or knife point and being like, "Yo, like that page." But you're just helping a person out. One subscription gets you closer to your goal. And it's like when you see it sometimes, it helps motivate you too, especially like if you, I've heard stories, I can't do it, but I've heard stories of people just quitting their jobs and like focusing solely on their social media platforms and their content. I'm single and I live by myself. Well, me and my dog. But like I couldn't just quit and be like, you know what? Brick, me and you gonna make this content. Cause Brick gets tons of views on Facebook. People like dogs, and my dog's adorable. But I couldn't see myself stopping what I do for a living and just like focus on this. So I work. So some days like I'll get up, I'll go to work. I'm at work till like 7 o'clock. Sometimes I leave earlier than that. Come home, like I said, I gotta take care of my dog. I eat, and then once I get him situated and he go lay down, I'll come up with ideas. And the thing is, a lot of things that I talk about are just written straight out, like it's thoughts I have. So I write it out. And what I have to get better at, I'm not doing it no more. But what I used to do was I would like sit here and prop it up, and I'm like here, 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 here. And what I learned from a guy who is like into this, he's like, you need to make eye contact. You need to make it feel real. You need to make it not seem like you're reading something. And I started doing that. So, then you're going through that, and then the lighting, and then you're like, okay, I gotta fix this. And so now I'm sitting up. I say I'll start at 10. I might finish a video by 12, maybe 2 videos, like about sometimes the videos be 30 seconds long. But I've recorded it so many times. Like I don't like how I said that. I don't like how that look. Okay, my face is kind of shiny. My glasses is hitting the light. So it's a lot to go into it. So then after that, I have to sit down and edit it. And then the editing process, I don't have software so far that I edit with besides using edits from Instagram, or like what I do. Just like when I go into like my videos on my Apple folder, and I'll like edit it a little bit, and tweak it there. So I have to chop it, slice it. Then I have to like move certain pieces, and then I set it up. I put my graphics and everything, and then like depending on where I'm posting it, I might schedule it, or I might just like just throw it out there. But like in return, I don't get what I expected. And it do let you down a little bit, but at the same time, you're like, all right, cool. I just gotta keep pushing. So that's what I do. But I really want to know, like, just like if you don't I don't want to call nobody out or anything like that, but in the comments, if you could just like give your honest opinion on why sometimes you feel like if you make content, why people don't like it or subscribe, or if you're one of the people that just be like, I just like scroll and see it and keep going. Um but that's the thing that gets me about my content, because it's either 2 things you're gonna see from me, or 3 things. You're gonna see me either smoking a cigar, you're gonna see my logo when it's everything, like the cigar videos, the haircut videos, these videos. You always gonna see that House of Trim pop up, so it's me. So it's like, even if you don't care to watch it, double tap it. That's it. Keep it moving. If I post, hey guys, I'm trying to get more subscribers, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to it. I mean, if not, it's cool. I just like, between me and the people that watch this, I'm just trying to figure out what goes through a person's mind, like when they just don't want to support people that they know, Like I said, like I got a ton of people who own jewelry stores, he don't ask me to post his stuff. I go grab it and post it on my story. Um, like if you own a pet grooming business. Hey, listen, I'm gonna throw you out there. And sometimes people will thank me, other times people just don't say nothing back. But it's cool. It's like I don't do it for the thanks and the praise. I just want to see other people make it because you know it's tough out here, and a lot of times people find that comfort in doing this, or they do it for they want to get that extra income. I watched a guy. What made me really like focus more on it now was like once I got past the point where it's like, okay, I can sit in front of this camera and talk to people. It was a guy on TikTok, and I don't know how true his story was. I just listened, and it sounded like okay, cool. But he was like, "You see this car I got? You see this house?" He was like, "TikTok pay for everything." He said, "That's all I do is make content. That's it." So that was kind of motivation because it was like, wow, like if you can really just post and get realistically, like the margins that you have to get to start like monetizing your content ain't that far off. Like for instance, on my Facebook that monetizes, I had to get to 20,000 followers. What was crazy about that was I had 35,000 followers around COVID because what I would do was I used to sit up here and just like grab videos from YouTube, and it was wrong. I used to grab videos from YouTube, screen record it, edit it, post it. It was just something to keep people interested because I felt like people was losing their mind, and I was like, let me. I never post things like fights or things that put people down. I post a lot of stuff that's like uplifting. So I would like post stuff from YouTube, and I would go to TikTok and do the same thing, screen record, edit it, post it. And then the next thing you know, I started seeing like I didn't post this girl's video to make fun of her. It was that she was happy it was her birthday. And she said she was turning 25, but I don't know. I felt like she drug use kind of took her looks away from her, and people focused more on that. So people started like resharing it, and I think that video got up to like 600K reshares over like damn like 100.2 million views. And then from there, because people see that content, they started following me. And like they was just following. So at one point I was like, dang, I didn't even know followers. I thought your followers was also your friends. So I was like, okay, if I got 300 friends, I got 300 followers. Nah, that grew. So when I got to like 30 something thousand, and then COVID was done, I stopped posting. I just went back to posting my regular little, post and pictures of my kids and stuff. And one day I was like, I went and messaged Facebook because, this is when I found out Facebook was monetizing. I said, what's the requirements to monetize? And Facebook had like basically told me like, oh, you need like 20,000 followers. You got to post content every day. So I was like, all right, cool. I think I'm doing that. And I was like, I got over 30,000 followers. Out of nowhere, I couldn't find my followers no more on my account. So, like when you first go to your profile page, you can see where it's like my name, it's like Lee Trimm, and then it'd be like friends, followers. That following part was gone. So I want to say maybe a year and some change later, I get a message from them that my content now can be monetized because I have enough followers. I was like, all right, cool, I got 35,000. It was only 20,000 at this time. And the mark was you had to be at 20,000. So for some reason, I don't know why. If you know why they did it, can you tell me? But they took away a lot of my followers. So from there, I was like, that's when the whole I'm gonna focus on social media. And I started posting, and you know what's so crazy? Brick is an American bully, and he's American bully with like a sense of humor. He's sarcastic. He's 2 years old, and I rescued him from an animal shelter. And people love watching or reading his stories because I write out his stories on there and I post them. And that's where I started getting like a ton of views from, was like people just like back to liking that. Then, I post like these and people like them, but really Facebook, Brick owns it because they show out for him. So, um, I I try not to post this content on my actual Facebook page. I have another account on Facebook, like one of those business like pages. So I post everything there. But this is trying to really like do something with this. Like, I don't know where I'm gonna go with it or how far it'll go, but I'm just really trying to grow this as a business. Like my house of trim is everywhere. It's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, it's on TikTok, it's on Threads, it's on X, it's everywhere. Snapchat, everywhere. I post everywhere. And it's just to try to get more eyes on my brand and bring more people in. And it also helps me as a barber too, because I get a lot of new clients who see my work on Instagram and all that, and they like, my booking information is there. So, if you're trying to do something with social media besides just like watch celebrities and follow them, because it's getting to a point where a lot of these famous people, they're not worth following. You know, the shooting to be like them is kind of like fading, because a lot of them, you start to realize like, damn, you're miserable. I mean, but you got like 20 million, but you're miserable. And like, it's like you want to kind of like, still see what they doing, but also see some genuine content from people who's trying to like really like make it out here. Yo, like, you know, do it. Start your own content, or just follow smaller like content creators because they really need it. Like I get on my Instagram, my one account is only at like five, almost close to 5,000 followers. My newer one that I really focus on, the House of Trim, is at like 500 and something. Um, but what I do is I'll go to other smaller accounts and I'll like maybe like 10, 15 posts, and like, or if it's like something in my niche that I like, I'll follow them or whatever. But it's all about just, trying to uplift people. Like I don't like to talk about politics and all that, but it's like one thing we really got to understand is like we all we got sometimes, and social media like gets a lot of us through the day. Like, man, like I get on certain platforms and like I'll watch videos and I'll just be sitting there like, I was raised like in the 80s. And so it's like people who make the 80s content, even the ones that make the AI 80s content, it puts me in my feelings because it's like, dang, man, that was a better time. Like when I was a kid, my grandma was alive, my brother was alive, my grandpa was alive, and man, it was just life. So it's an escape from all the other BS that we go through daily. So sometimes just support people. If you got a friend or a family member or anybody like that, you see them really not half-assing it, but they're really putting the effort into making their content. Just help them. Like just like their posts, like their stuff. Show them some love. Even you, like if you are a content creator and you just want more followers and you want follow me, subscribe, and then put in a comment that, hey, can you follow me back? I don't have a problem doing that. One thing I don't do is like people who be like, hey, I'm gonna follow you. Can you follow me back? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. And now when I go look to your page, the last time you posted something was like 2018, 2019. And it's like now you're just taking up like some space, like, because I want to see people active. I want my circle of people to be people out here trying to get it. Not saying you gotta post every day, but you trying to build something. Like I don't want you to sit up here and have like you're making like plates or like food, and like I follow you and the last time you made a plate of food was like 2019. And it's like, hey, you still doing that? You're like, nah, no, not really. All right, cool. Well, I appreciate the follow and I follow you back. But whatever. But it's like if you really out here trying to do something, like, yo, like in the comments below, if you comment back and just tell me like, hey, I'm gonna follow you. This is like, can you follow me back or whatever? I'll do it. Also like I said, if you want to find me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, you can look up House of Trim. Trim is Trimm, like it's spelled on my YouTube. And like, check out my stuff if you want to, like it, follow me, I'll follow you. It's just all about building a circle of people that want to win and do something more with social media besides just sit back and just like brain rot. So if you ever get a chance, like I said, check out the rest of my content on other platforms. If I can, I'm still like learning how to like tag or put like my ads on my YouTube video. But once I get to that, I'll do that. If you want to follow me, you can do that. But I appreciate everybody who watches and listens to me. And one thing I always say, like, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a man that listens, because sometimes that's all we really need. And I appreciate whoever take time out to watch and listen to me. So thank you.